Gordon Graham here with today's tip from Lexipol. And today's tip is all about a topic that's near and dear to me, institutional knowledge. So let me start off with this. Where did your grandmother die? If you're over 50, there's a very high probability your grandmother died where? In your parents' house. Oh, your grandma, your grandpa, they were doing quite well on their own. They had an illness. They ended up in hospital. They got released from hospital, and the doctor said to your mom or dad, whoever's parent was, you know what? They won't be able to live on their own. Can you take them in? My grandmother spent her last years in our house in San Francisco, and I learned so much from her. So much about life, so much about America, so much about how fortunate I was to be born in this great country. Where does Grandma die today? At a nursing home. We visited her on Saturday, sometimes for an hour. All that knowledge leaves with her. What's that got to do with American public safety? Everything. I think I had the best sergeant in the history of the California Highway Patrol. The guy was a genius, and he retired, and he takes everything with him. Everything he learned as a sergeant goes right out the door with him. When is the next time your department has contact with that person who just knew everything? Funeral? All that institutional knowledge is gone. We've got to figure out a way to share institutional knowledge. Individually, you know a lot. Collectively, the group that's watching this together, you know everything. We have got to start sharing our knowledge with others. One of my goals in life is to someday see that every time a new school is built, a senior citizen center is built right in the middle of that school. I don't care if it's a kindergarten, a grade school, a middle school, or a high school. Co-locate a senior citizen center in that school. Why? Because right now around this great country, we've got these silos of seniors dying from loneliness. And we've got these silos of young women and men, 17, 18 years old, with a mom or a dad who really doesn't care that much about them. What happens when you put 80-year-old women with 17-year-old kids? You're breaking down age barriers, sex barriers, race barriers. Everything bad is disappearing. Everything good is going to happen. Once that young man or young woman learns that that older person really wants them to succeed, it can change the world. Pass it on, folks. Earlier, in an earlier tip, we talked about the importance of mentoring. That's the micro view. Mentoring in public safety. How about the big picture? Let's start mentoring America. We're throwing away too much institutional knowledge. And that is today's tip from Lexipol. Gordon Graham signing off.